Trigger.
Excuse me, if you're not talking on the call, can you put your phone on mute?
Or is that somebody else?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's a big help.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Now we're going to,
Quickie, I don't know if I can answer.
I'll make
There was-
sense.
There was something yesterday or today about either more cars or more service or something like that. It was an MTA press release. Where would, what I'm wondering is that just a reallocation of equipment, or did they actually come up with some more equipment from someplace?
that was further east, right?
I think it's more for the east.
Mostly, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of it's on the South Shore, but there's one or two on Port Wash, and you know.
Yeah, they added
Yeah,
some,
so it seemed like it was a reallocation. Is that what?
It can't be because I don't have equipment. Is it peak service?
Yeah, it's peak, but it seemed like they weren't saying they have any new equipment. It's
They don't.
No, they make it sound like they're adding,
It's reallocation.
They're adding- they're
The
adding-
sign said
they're
what
adding
trains are
train.
coming.
but they're reallocating.
That's what it said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it said. What trains
Well,
are coming.
they might be, you know, they run equipment. The runner has to run equipment empty, and maybe it's shifting equipment
Yeah.
around so it's better utilized.
Well, I know
Yeah.
during the
Because
summer.
I know Kubitschek was talking about doing that.
Yeah, I think
Maybe a
they're
couple of months ago, he
trying
wanted
to
to-
increase the
He
efficiency
wanted
of
to,
the
yes, because he
turns
said I'm running an
in
empty
some way.
train here.
In some way
put this
to get a better.
Okay.
And maybe they're able to better.
And crews
Well, that's
also.
what I figured, it was probably just a reallocation, because, I mean, we have that on my branch on Friday. You know, our 8-car train becomes a 5-car train, called 5-car Fridays.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because they steal
Yeah,
those
so
3
they can-
trains to put it on a Montauk train coming out.
Right.
So,
So,
okay, I'm good.
yeah.
Bill, can you give us a staff report?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to report. We, just a few, a few issues we've seen recently. We are, there's the continual parking issues. One of the sort of interesting ones is we got another case of LIR employees parking in town spots. This was at Hicksville, and we passed that along. Just some general comments about Port Jeff service not being up to par, and some of the choices that could have been made, like second track, and some other choices that could have improved service. Some of the we had a comment about weekend closures, which I think you all saw. It's just that many of the smaller stations are closed on weekends, and just it's not what we want, but it is what the railroad is able to do at this point, or willing to do at this point. That we can't necessarily get all the stations open for the number of hours we'd like to see them open. And in some cases, there's Mark, you said you were told that Wyandanch was being closed. Essentially, the station building at Wyandanch was being closed because of some vandalism in there, and which is bad for the riders, because they got nothing all
Well,
summer.
I brought that up just now, in fact.
Welcome
that
to Patchogue.
there has to be some kind of temporary. It's gonna be 100 degrees outside, and you can't have no shelter.
What if they did some kind of open tenting? Because the problem is that not only is the vandalism happening, but there was like lots of drug use and
I'll
other
leave it up to
things.
you, but whatever you
So
think.
you just
Yeah.
need some
I-
sort of
I just-
coverage for the sun.
I think, June, July, you can't
Because
have
even if
enough.
you have a trailer, I don't think they're air conditioned. So I'm thinking,
He just said there was, but you know what?
Okay.
Well, I'll
Alright.
let you guys, usually what you guys look into, just you can't leave people out there, with
I was
nothing.
at Little Neck, and there's like a little square you could, I don't call it station, it's the old station house. The cab company takes up part of it, and then there's a little space you could sit in with a bathroom that's not open.
right.
I didn't understand
The
why.
only problem is, I think
That's what I was.
One of the
I don't know if the
stations-
bathroom should be open, not open.
one of the
or when
stations,
it's
I don't
open.
think it was
During the day.
Hicksville. One of the other ones, you guys did put up some kind of a tent at one point, but you took away parking spaces for it. So we have to figure out a way of doing it so you don't upset somebody else. So
I
just think-
understand.
Yeah, Boston's just, so, they're all coming into my neighborhood now. can't even follow.
So just so you're aware, so we're doing station initiatives and the next one's coming up, just so you know. We'll be starting Farmingdale June 15th, Merrick will be June 25th, Syosset will be July 9th, Stony Brook will be July 16th, and Belmore will be July 25th. So we're working with the towns right now to try to talk about construction layout, make sure that we're not impacting customers' parking. In some places, we're not going to be able to help it. Belmore is one of those stations. That we'll have to take a couple of spots underneath the viaduct. So we're working with the town, but we'll also let you know so you're aware.
Anything between Ronkonkoma and Farmingdale should be done on the weekends now when there's no train service. As far as I'm concerned, because there's no trains anywhere. So that is really the time you guys should be focusing on the radio stations. Hopefully bring back service and stuff closing it up again.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't have a whole lot else to report.
We've had an increase, and it could just be an increase of long railroad workers sitting on trains, sitting in cars, and understanding. And in fact, more lately, having suitcases to take up more space. In the uniform.
Yeah.
In their uniform.
In their uniform,
Yeah,
with suitcases, so they're not only taking a seat up, but they're blocking another seat. You know,
Oh, like coming here today.
so
people
people
getting off the
of course
airline,
taking
people
pictures of
getting
that because
candidates.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
so just a reminder that they're.
Yeah.
I
This
got
might
the
be- It could be in
two
along with
quick
the announcement.
office
about
questions.
sure.
One, the MTA press releases that we get, are they directly from the MTA
They come
or
from
do
the
they?
MTA, they come from the MTA, so if anybody's having problems with the press releases, let us know and we'll say so-and-so isn't getting them.
Well, we don't know
Okay,
if we're
well-
not getting
Make
them
sure
to
they're
tell
on
you
the
we're not
list.
getting them.
Well, the thing is, yeah, good
Well,
question.
I mean, if you're
How
not
do I
getting
know to tell
anything,
you
if
I
you're
didn't
not
get it
getting
if I didn't get
anything, if you're not getting anything, then there's.
I haven't
Well,
gotten them
here's-
in
I mean, I
a
get
while.
them.
Okay.
I used to forward them, and then they told me stop forwarding because you get them directly.
That's what I thought.
When was the last one you got? It had months for me.
So I got one 2 days ago, but I
Yeah.
fell off the list and I'm an employee and I wasn't.
I
on
fell
it.
off the
People do
list.
fall off the
So
I
it
fell off.
happens.
Alright, so let's get Brian back.
I've been off for months.
Well,
I get them.
the reason I brought the question up was, you know how I feel about getting information from outside sources other than from here. So there was the MTA press release.
Yeah,
There was the MTA press release about the additional service.
yeah.
And I saw it as a press release. I said, why didn't I get that? And I went back through my emails, and I got an MTA press release yesterday
Uh-huh.
about 64 finalists for music or something like
Yeah,
that.
music
I got that
New
one.
York.
Oh, you got that one?
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah, why did I get
I
that
saw that
one?
one, yeah, I saw that one, I don't
Why did
know.
I get that one and I didn't get one
So
about the
there's some
increased
glitches in the
service?
Are you a
system,
music
so what
hater?
I'll do is just give you guys, I will take the list of all the members and make sure that MTA
Yeah,
has
if you-
it and just make sure
If
that.
you wanna, yeah, that's fine, that's great, all.
I might even
like
just
you
send a
said.
couple emails like, hey, did you get this? And if you say yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I'll stop harassing you, but I can forward it for a little bit.
I can start
Yeah.
forwarding them to the.
I mean, if I didn't get them,
Yeah,
know,
no, that's,
then you're right, then you get the
I was
thing.
getting that.
Everyone's getting it.
Then
then
Stop.
the other thing, it's an in-house thing for PCAC.
yeah,
You know how you have the little notices you put on Facebook every so often?
oh, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
you did one.
Okay.
So just, not for chuckles, but I responded to it. And I found that I could send you a direct message and it wouldn't just appear on the thing. So I clicked the button, I sent you a direct message, and that was a week ago and no one ever responded. So it was like,
Yeah.
well, maybe somebody in the office don't like me, or is it not functioning properly?
I don't,
It doesn't have
I,
to be an or.
yeah, it could be both, it could be both, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it could be
but-
both.
Is it
Well, yeah,
Facebook?
By the way, I don't respond. People try to, there's 2 people, they're on this council that message me on Facebook, I don't
Well,
respond.
but he's saying, but if you open it to the
Yeah.
public.
Yeah, that's true, it's open to the public.
Yeah, Sheila
That's all right, I don't
does,
take it personally.
Sheila does a lot of our social
No, it pops
media,
up on
so
my
do you have any
phone.
insight on that?
Yeah,
What's happening there?
I don't do
I saw
Facebook.
your comment.
Yeah.
It was, you said, why don't we know about this? I didn't know what to say because I don't follow that Facebook
No,
page.
it was the initiative about handicapped access.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
And I asked the question,
Okay,
did we ever
so-
get around to making Main Street, not Main Street, the City Field Tennis Center, is that handicap accessible now?
Oh, there's a story behind that one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a.
No, but I asked
Well,
the
does he know the answer
It'll
to that
take a
one?
whole- That'll take a
Did you
whole
answer?
other meeting.
Did you
Okay.
answer it?
Yeah.
There's an answer to that.
No, but I asked the
It's not a
question,
good one.
Yeah,
and I never got a response. But I never got any response back.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't respond to you, but I don't know the answer to that question, and I could look into it.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
okay,
Maybe on the train.
but we do get Facebook Messenger, you're
Yeah.
seeing those.
I didn't know
Because-
if it was a glitch or not. That's
Okay.
why I'm.
Yeah, other people, because sometimes we get messages from people that, if you have a question, it's best to email us or email me,
Okay.
Yeah.
because I get like other random people saying things that, so I don't always respond to the messages because they're not, members.
But
or
if we're offering it to the public, they're
Yeah, if you're
expecting a
they're
response.
expecting a response, right? You know, so it's.
I'm not on Facebook, I don't know.
Or don't allow the public to
Yeah.
respond.
Or just
Yeah.
take off Messenger on the Facebook app. So like, just don't let them private message you.
But let them just
And
make
then
a
they don't
comment.
have to put their
Yeah, we
message
should do
so it's
that.
seen by everybody,
make
because that will prevent you from getting harassed on the side.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
okay,
thinking.
Yeah,
I should do that.
Take, so
that's
just
fine.
take that so then
Yeah,
it doesn't
they're
get
pretty-
lost in the abyss.
Yeah,
I think it's the railroad, we
I'm
know
not
about
on it.
that.
They were pretty good. Yeah.
I think it's, they know that. All right, so anything else, Bill, before I?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless-
I'm gonna ask
People
our
have other
communications
questions.
expert over there, anything?
Can you lower this
anything up?
noise?
Yeah,
They don't
I'll
know how to mute their
lower
phone.
Yes, we need to let us know, or? anything?
Not, I mean, we are in the process of implementing a lot of the performance improvement plan in terms of our communications. All of my staff has gone through a training so that they can make better announcements to sort of understand what the customer's experiencing as we have delay situations, and then to try to sort of make announcements so that customers feel that, yeah, they understand my plight and they're coming forward.
I don't like to play this role here, with this hat on, but complaints of service is still bad, delays are still bad, overcrowding is still bad, but I've seen a market improvement in people not complaining about communications. I don't like to play that role and say that,
I
but
appreciate
I have to tell you that at least that's what I've
There's
noticed.
less.
There's better than there's less than there used to be.
It goes in waves. A week or so ago, I sent in 3 or 4 things to Bill because he's like recording it, that I saw.
Yeah, that will.
And
I'm
then
recording.
it probably went like a week where I didn't send you anything.
Right,
You
yeah.
probably
In
thought I
fact,
took
you sent
vacation
me
or
one with-
something,
You sent me one with 3, and you said
Yeah.
I haven't. It's been pretty good. The kid that doesn't talk until he's 4, and things have been pretty good so far.
And then like in the last 2-3 days, it all kind of fell apart again. So I just
Yeah.
couple of examples.
Well, before you start, I'm just asking, how would you like us to handle this? So we get a bunch of complaints. How would you like us to then, pass each of them over to you?
You can
Or
pass
do it,
it on to
what's
me,
the best
'cause
procedure?
anytime we receive complaints, I'm always reviewing complaints, especially about communications, because I have a large staff and we're a 24-hour office. I'm not going to catch everything. So when people do issue complaints, it makes me aware of something. I usually research it myself, and then I address it. If it's a member of my staff that did something wrong, I will address it with them.
So
that
you
they-
want us to send you each individually, or send them in groups, like wait for a couple
Probably
days?
in a group is better as opposed to individual, because I get about 200 emails a day.
Yeah.
It's very possible that if it's one of 200, it may fall through the cracks. But if I get one email detailing a list of things, it's easier for me to just go through them.
Like a weekly update, if you will.
Yeah, well, that's why I was
Yeah,
sending
we
it to
should do
Bill
that.
so he could like
Yeah,
put them
we-
together
Sorry,
in a
Jerry, now you
copulation.
can go, I just want the procedure.
Put them together in like a copulation, so this way you can just say, well, here's something that we observed over the last month, and then give you a list of, rather than an email. You'd
Yeah,
get
yeah.
tired if you saw 6 emails from me in one day. But just some examples. Night before, I think it was night before last or whatever. There was a train out of Greenport that had a 70-minute delay for whatever equipment problems. It never mentioned. Now that train's from Greenport to Ronkonkoma. What happens when you get to Ronkonkoma? What kind of you don't mention the connections.
So Greenport to
So these
Ronkonkoma is the
people-
last stop. You're asking what happens with the
Well, you're making
Ronkonkoma train that they make?
those trains are all geared to make.
Right,
There's
well-
no Greenport to Ronkonkoma train by itself.
Right,
There's always a connection.
right.
So it never mentioned what happened. Now these poor people are.
If there's a 70-minute late train, it's highly unlikely they held to Ronkonkoma connection to wait for that train so that the people.
Of course not. No one expects you to.
So the next train that will make the connection with that train will happen now.
But you didn't say that. Your
Well-
people didn't say that. They didn't say, and at that hour of the night,
What time was it?
it was like the middle of the night.
Yeah, it was like, when was it?
It was like an
Left
eight
it-
it was
no,
like an 8
they
o'clock
left-
train
yeah.
out of Greenport,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So you're gonna get maybe hourly service,
I
so,
can't remember exactly.
so that 70-minute person, that might wind up being a 120-minute person, 'cause he might have had to wait 50 minutes when he got to Ronkonkoma.
Yeah, he didn't
But
have,
he didn't
he
know,
didn't
you
have
know.
the right hourly
Yeah, it
hourly
depends.
train, he's,
But it just,
There.
you should have mentioned the connection,
Wow.
what's gonna
The
happen.
next train out of
Yeah.
Ronkonkoma
Yeah.
is
Yeah, exactly.
9:45.
So this way they know they go to
It's entirely
Dunkin'.
possible for a situation like that. Sometimes what you don't know is that the customers on that train may have gotten off that train and taken other means of transportation. So we may know that there's nobody on that train. They're not worried about how they get to Ronkonkoma because they're no longer going to make. So when they're not train times when it finally does move, but there's nobody to communicate how to connect on that train because nobody's on that train.
All right, well, we'll agree to
That
disagree
usually
because,
happens with the Greenport trains, is there may be 7 customers and they find out there's a problem. They then give them some bus service or a van, shoot them off to their location.
All right, well.
And there's nobody left on that train, so.
okay, I was just thinking if your
Okay.
train has equipment problems in Yaphank in the wee hours of the morning, you ain't going anyplace, but, all right, we'll let that one go. Last night I get off my train. The board says it's canceled.
Okay.
What do you mean it's canceled? I just got off it. And then I watched it pull out and proceed to Spionk. But yet on the board, the train was canceled. How did that happen? The estimated time for arrival functions. I know you're still working out some bugs on that. But you got to be very careful with that because you had one the other day on the Ronkonkoma branch that social media had a field day with because people are waiting, I guess, at line dance or whatever for the train. 1 minute till the train arrives, train never arrives. ETA, the next train, 21 minutes, and everybody's like, so everybody get caught in a time vortex or something and get sucked back
It went
21
from 1
minutes.
minute to 20 in like in a second.
Yeah,
Right.
and no train ever showed up.
It never shut up.
I know you're still working out some bugs on that
Yeah,
one,
they
but that's
are.
something you know.
The group that's doing the ETA clocks or the countdown clocks, they're sending people to test the system, so.
Yeah.
We haven't announced to the public that we're starting this because they want to go through all of the tests.
Okay.
Figure out the bugs, and then once they say, okay, we got it fixed, then we'll do some brand.
Again, I mean, that one we'll give you a mulligan on because I know you're still working the bugs out. But I'm just saying, even a little thing, sometimes people take off on it and, you know. You gotta be a little bit more careful. I know we want information promptly, but you gotta be more careful about before you send out the email alerts and hit the button. You had one, not even this morning, or yesterday or today. Yeah, I think it was this morning. Spionk train broke down. All right, train's canceled. Sending buses to Spionk. Oh, wait a second. What happens to everybody else between Spionk and the rest of the line? You don't mention that. And why the hell are you sending buses? Then, 10 minutes later, you get the right email alert. Oh, by the way, customers will be accommodated by the next train, which is the email alert that should have went out all along. So that was just carelessness on somebody's part. And you know, you never get buses that quickly. I mean, if there's a pedestrian strike or something like that. So that one, and that's just like in the last 24, 36 hours. Then there was one communications thing where maybe it's more your department, Ryan, than yours, and you could have scored points on it, and you didn't. Apparently, you guys have made some improvements at the grade crossings where the cars won't go off onto the tracks. You put some like barriers or stripe lines and stuff like that.
They're delineators.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so they're flexible delineators. We're gonna be installing them at 300 different
Right,
crossings.
so I mean, people were commenting on that, like, what are those? And I was like, wait a second, that's a good thing, you know? So that's something you should have, like, alerted the public to, so that they know what the hell they are. I mean,
We'll send
we
them
know what it
press
was because
release.
we know what you were trying to do,
Right.
but that's something you could have scored points on, you know, like, hey, this is something we're doing. and here are the first 7 stations that we have them at, blah, 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 and,
Yeah, we're installing
we're-
300 by the end of the year.
you know, so that's, you know, that's a plus. So, you know, you gotta make, everybody jumps on your negatives, so you gotta
Try
jump
to
on
get
your
the
pluses
compliment.
where you can, you
Can I
know.
jump in?
Yeah.
It's just on a communication issue, I don't know who, I
And I'm
brought
done,
up,
guys.
I brought up in the past, I'm just gonna bring it up again, I think it would be helpful for the railroad and for you guys. That, everyone is in their station houses and waiting rooms, and they always see this station manager, what do they call them?
Oh, yeah, the picture on the wall.
Branch
Branch
line
line
Branch line
manager.
manager, and no one has ever seen this person in the world. So I've in the past recommended that you should do a little tour once a month, go to one of the stations and listen to riders. You don't have to give a press, they just sit at a table and listen to what people are saying about their branch. They connect the person that's in there, you're reaching out, it doesn't be all the time, it could be one
I
station.
understand, like
I've
a rush
asked in the past-
hour.
Just sit
Greet
there
the
and say,
people at
"I'm
the bottom of
I'm
the
bridge,
escalator
I'm
like all
here
the
to hear-
politicians
I'm here to
do
hear what you want to say to them."
before the elections.
It's
There
just-
is,
it's
there
just-
is some push to get those branch line managers more visible to the
Because
public.
I've asked in the past on in
John
private
McCarthy
conversations.
is pushing for that as well. And so I think that'll happen sooner rather
Good.
than later.
I think it's good.
They
It's a good
actually
thing.
used to be housed underneath like the Government and Community Affairs Department because they are part of the community outreach and I know a lot of them are extremely active in their communities, but not during rush hour. They're doing other things, but I think it's a great idea.
I'll push it with people who.
Good. I mean, I'm doing it privately. It's my time to do it publicly. It's anything else you want to bring up? Or anything that you have any questions or things how it's coming across to writers?
There's a lot going on to get our communication skill. I think today, one of my peers approached me on the elevator and says, you know, the onboard announcements, they're really good. They notice a change, and I've been getting a lot of, you know, there's definitely a push to have the onboard personnel make better announcements to keep customers more informed. And I see that because we get the information out to the crews, and as soon as something happens, whereas before, it didn't necessarily go to crews, we would get it out to customers. Now, there's a push to have the onboard crews make these announcements more frequently, and I think that, you know, more and more people are noticing that the crews are giving them more information. So that is part of the performance improvement plan as well, with greater focus on onboard announcements. And we have 2 assistant station masters in the PIL, and whenever something happens now, we give them information. There's already also the subway push to keep inform customers about any subway delays that
That's good.
our train.
That's good.
They can,
One last thing, it's my pet peeve. I brought up in the past, nothing has changed, and I don't know what else. It's going to be ongoing whenever there are station changes. You know, on my line and Wyatt Edge, we've discussed that because it's closed down for the construction for double track still. Let's say there's 12 cars or 10 cars. The last 6 do not platform at Wyatt Edge. Okay? You're coming down to get on your train. You don't know which is the first to come down in the middle of the train. I've asked for something, a little flag or something to say, or someone to stand up front and say, go to the right. You know, there's no direction. It hasn't been. I've been since day one. And I tell you the other day, I went on the train because I came running down that middle. I wasn't sure because you know how many cars there are. And I asked the conductor, who's very out there, can I open this car right edge? She goes, yeah, yes. Of course, when I got to the right edge, she said, oh no, you have to let up 2 cars. He didn't even know the information as he was standing there. So I'm not running through 2 cars. People coming with luggage. Now, I did once.
And
just finished.
bicycles.
I was on one train once where they I had never heard this before. On the train said, if the light lowers in your compartment, it's not opening at Wyatt Edge. That didn't happen until you pull into Wyatt Edge. But maybe if there was something before you left the station saying that, something before you leave. And this is, it's not just now, it's ongoing
I saw internal
projects.
communication, probably either today or yesterday, within the last few days, basically saying that they want more frequent announcements to customers about trains where there's a shortened platform where customers can get out. So there is a push to get those announcements being made more frequently.
But they don't know which car to get in. That's what I'm saying. They need to have someone, a conductor outside who's waiting can say, you know, all go to the right of me, right? I mean, just something, it doesn't have to be high tech, it can be something that just lets people know before they get on, because once they get on, and now you're telling them as the train's leaving, you need to be in a certain car, and they got luggage, it's stressful. I
And
hate
they
it.
shouldn't be moving
Well,
between the cars
well, you
technically
said-
People
too.
running-
get
running-
on
Oh, yeah,
because
no, people want to.
different stations have different platform
Markings.
sizes, and so if I get on a station, let's say I get on at Jamaica where I can fit the whole train, I'm not
But
sure.
But I'm telling you, like at my line, you know from at White Edge that for 5 months,
Mhm.
that the rear 6 cars cannot open. That's a major, you should be able to, and any other projects we should like that. That's not just one car short. You know, that's a major project that's gonna be ongoing, and people shouldn't, there's gotta be a way of just making it easier for riders, that's all I'm trying to say.
So are
Before
you
they
saying
get on.
at your platform, there's still people that don't
I'm saying in Penn Station.
No, in Penn Station.
I'm
When
saying-
they're boarding,
When
they
they're
don't know where to
boarding,
get on.
yeah.
Everyone
To
knows,
anticipate to
everyone
get
goes in
off.
because it's closed off, you can't get on those trains in the morning going.
So,
Coming home,
okay.
when you're boarding in Penn Station, if you just have somebody outside saying.
If you're
"Be careful,
getting off
Wyandanch,
in
you got-
Wyandanch,
you gotta go.
Be up
Yeah,
here.
I said, I'll stick a little flag, I'm saying you have to be right or the left of the flag, it doesn't have to be high tech, but it's not
Yeah.
like a two-week thing.
Right.
And people who come down in the middle, the answer's always been, well, people who take it every day, no. You don't, because you may come down different stairs, and you don't know how, there are 10 cars, 12 cars, and you're ready to get on your train, you're not really.
You're not counting if you got,
Right,
Yeah,
if you can't-
exactly.
if you entered towards the back.
so.
Or if you're 2 minutes for departure time and you're running down the
Right,
platform,
yeah.
you know,
I
Yeah.
just,
Get in.
I thought it out and nothing's
Okay.
happened, and I still see it happening, so I'm just throwing it out again, if there's a way that we could just make it easier for riders.
Continue to try and come
If
up.
they're stressed, then they make the conductor stressed if they're
Along
right
the
to the
same
train.
lines, can I answer?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Along that same line of the trains in Penn Station, yeah, along the same lines with the trains in Penn Station, if they can announce the length of the trains, because now with all those borders up, and you have to squeeze between a train and a work area, and then when the train is short, people are getting ready to kill themselves, like I think it's on track 18 or wherever the wood is right now to get down there. If they can announce that this train is 8 cars or 10 cars or whatever it is, if it's short.
Well, I mean, one step further is why doesn't each car tell you you're in car number 4, you're in car number 5,
Yeah,
you're in
hoping-
car number
I
6?
think that was
On the
goal, but new
screen,
trains are
inside
always-
or outside, I mean, just on the LED.
Yeah.
Tell you what
Yeah,
car
changes,
number you're
I
in.
know, you're right.
So I know if I'm in car 6, but I gotta be in the first 4, I gotta move 2 forward, not just keep walking and hope I get into the right one.
Yeah, Port Washington line, you've got the first 2 cars that don't platform.
Yeah, we have that in a
You
couple.
know,
But am I in
Yeah.
2 or am I in
Rider,
3?
you don't know.
So why not use the
Right.
LED screen, the little red one, to say you're in car number 4? And it just flashed, you know.
Nice to, yeah.
Yeah, we have that on the Babylon branch where, 12-car trains, the first 2 don't platform, and Amityville, Copaga, Lindenhurst. And you always have somebody scrambling at the last minute to run back to get off in the
So
third
imagine
car.
there were 6
Yeah.
cars like that, people are running.
One, because you don't know where
Yeah, no, there's a lot of places.
And
Now,
the
that one
challenge
thing-
is that people plug
We come
in.
with solutions
And so
too.
sometimes
yeah,
there are
continue my-
announcements
But we
that
come with
person don't hear.
solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, one
you're
thing I
right.
did notice the other day, I'm trying to remember what train it was, they actually did have on the little board, said this train is running with fewer cars. It didn't say how many fewer cars or whatever, but at least it gave the people fewer cars. so-
Anxiety.
Let you know.
Yeah.
Let you know you gotta really be
So you
prepared to
know why it's
help
private.
people out of the
But
way.
at least when it
That's
came
why
down to the
trains are
platform,
private.
yeah.
Okay, we've given you
I
an
don't
issue.
know if
Yeah.
you
The
know,
question
though,
is, do the ushers and
when there's fewer
station know how
cars,
many
there's
cars
red
the
lights
train
that
has
on that train.
before it comes in?
So when the train comes in with red lights, that always means it's pronounced.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
so maybe let people know that, put it out there.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody.
But a lot of people will not only don't know that, but a lot of times trains have come in without the red light, because I've been stuck on the train platform, and all of a sudden the train goes by me, and I'm like cursing my brains out, because now I got to run down the platform like everybody else. So why can't the ushers announce it, that train's got 8 cars today?
We're gonna work on it.
Okay, we're late, we're
Yep,
past
so-
what we promised, so.
We're past our time.
Guys, I'm gonna, in front of the camera and everything, I'm gonna ask Jerry
Uh-oh.
to head up the new communications committee. I'd like you to reach out to members to be on it with you.
Okay.
Let's not wait for volunteers, you're gonna reach out to who you want.
All right.
And we're gonna coordinate with you And so there's a coordinated effort to pass the information to you and have an
Wait,
exchange.
can I say something? And
Yeah.
continue sending me all the complaints
Oh, no,
because I
I
have a
will.
list already.
Yeah, no, I'll continue this.
And
this
can
way
you
I'm
send
done.
me the ones from yesterday or?
Yeah, well, I'll put them
Okay.
together for you.
Okay, thank you. And I can send them to you or however.
I would
much.
love to see them too, if you could copy
Okay.
me on them.
Yeah.
I just, it helps us all. Or Stanley could send them to me, because we work next door to each other.
Anything else, anybody?
No, I got a 627,
I
so
know,
I'll behave myself now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mark, I just had one thing I wanted to update on, and that's the impact of tax reform on the pre-tax transit benefit. With the federal tax reform, the deductibility of transit expenses is still intact for employees, but there's a major disincentive that was created for employers to actually offer the benefit. So now any amount that the employer subsidizes or that the employee designates is no longer deductible for business, which is 21% now. But it's worse than that because the New York State code is coupled to the federal code. So for the business, it'll cost 21% federal, another 6.5% state, 8.5% New York City, and another 1% MTA tax, because the MTA tax is based on the state. So it's going to add up to 37% for the business for a benefit that used to be free to offer to their employees. Now they have to pay 37%. So what I've been doing is kind of educating people about it, and we're trying to at least get New York State in this legislative session to decouple their tax code from the business tax code, so that at least it's
So
only a 21%
What are you doing,
impact.
what are you doing in that vein? Have you spoken to it? What are you doing?
Right now, Senator Kaminsky's office and the Democratic staff are working on some draft legislation.
If you can give us something in a form that we could put on our Facebook page,
Yeah.
we'll post something right to start with, to let writers know.
Okay.
If you give it to Bill in a form that you can post it.
Yeah, I mean, that would work, we could probably, I
And
mean,
if you can do some lobbying, let us know.
if there, is
Well,
there
once we
a,
have a bill from Senator Kaminsky's office, they're working on a draft, and they said that once they had the draft, they would walk it over to the assembly to get a draft introduced in the assembly. Then I can get more letters going to support a particular item.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's, whatever, yeah, once we have a bill, then we can at least go to committee write something for committee chairs or something like that, or, leadership, and say, we think this is important for commuters.
Yes, well, we'll
Yeah.
have to.
What I'm
Yeah.
concerned is if something isn't done to at least minimize it quickly, that
Yeah.
employers, as they start to plan
Yeah, sure.
their employee
Right.
compensation plan for 2019 might drop
Right.
it this
Right.
year.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And there's about 1 million people that use the benefit in the tri-state area.
right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, do you know how many people receive, as opposed to doing pre-tax benefits of their own money, or receiving stuff from employers, receiving a benefit from employers?
From my experience with it, most people are just doing
Yeah,
pre-tax.
that's,
But it doesn't matter. This affects them even if they're doing
They're-
it,
but
they're
they-
designating it.
okay, so, yeah, okay.
Because once they designate a portion of their salary as a tax-free
Right,
benefit, it
then-
counts as a qualified transportation benefit,
Right.
which is no
Okay,
longer deductible.
okay.
Yeah, no, we're gonna, we're gonna